right, my darlings, how are you? Welcome into the week. I hope everything is going well for you. Let's get a message of what wants to come through this week. I am doing a live tarot learning class tomorrow night. If you want to learn how to do tarot from me, jump on that live class. It's going to be on YouTube. So come on along, and I want to get your questions. If you read tarot for yourself, or if you have questions about how I read tarot or anything like that, I mean, okay, happy to tell you. So come on along tomorrow night, Tuesday night at 6 p.m. All right, we'll be doing that live here on YouTube. So I hope to see you there. Okay, passion and pleasure. In the flow. Oh, beautiful energy here. Answering the call. The time is now. I am getting the very strong feeling of aha moment, breakthrough. Oh, now I get it. Now I understand. Now I see what's been going on. And my own part in it. I think that's one of those things that like we can look and see at a situation, and it's very easy, especially if we're feeling hurt or upset by it, to focus on other people's behavior. But I think there's some kind of an internal, last week was a lot of internal, especially with the full moon in Pisces, a lot of internal stuff, for lack of a better word. And I feel like that's what this is about. This is the full moon right there, about releasing and letting go of blocks to feelings, and blocks to feelings that may feel uncomfortable, especially uncomfortable ones. And, you know, we go and we do a lot of things to cover that up. Some of you know I love Mary Tyler Moore, and she was one of the reasons why I went to journalism school, just because, you know, for TV, because I was like, I want to be Mary Tyler Moore. And so it got better after time. It wasn't just because of her, but she was a very big, important part of my life. And I remember an episode where Lou Grant was talking about how she, in her interview, he hired her because there was a run in her stocking, and she put a leg and a hand and a purse and everything over it. And she's like, how did you notice that? And he goes, it's pretty hard not to notice something with a leg and a purse and a hand and an arm and a coat and everything over it. Right? So sometimes we overcompensate for things, and other people can see it, but we're having a hard time doing it. We're having a hard time coming to terms with our own feelings because they're uncomfortable. And, you know, we want other people to see us in a certain way. King of Wands. Underneath, Chariot, 10 of Wands, 9 of Wands, Devil energy, High Priestess, Queen of Cups, King of Swords, Queen of Swords, Knight of Swords. Okay, so look at this. We've got a couple of kings here, and we have the High Priestess and the Devil. I like this combination here, the Devil energy with the High Priestess. It's like we're seeing our own nonsense. We're seeing what is holding us back. Like, okay, I really want to move forward, but there's all this stuff that's in my way. Maybe it's unhealthy patterns that I have. Maybe but it's like, it's a badge of honor in some way. So I'm not going to be like, oh, my coping mechanisms, let's say, because coping mechanisms come from childhood when we are not emotionally mature enough to handle things. So later on in life, we may stumble upon when you're triggered by something, that is a huge flag that says, hey, look at me. I'm underneath a leg and a hand and an arm and a coat and a purse, right? Like, I don't want to notice it. So when you're triggered by something and you're like, why is this upsetting me so much? There's something underneath that needs to be looked at. And that's what is happening here with this King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. I feel like you do look at it, and then there's this feeling, it could be a backlash in yourself for being like, no, that's not an unhealthy pattern. No. Like people pleasing, right? It's the degree to which you do it. We all want to be seen as helpful. I mean, a lot of women, most women in our culture are raised to be people pleasers. So it's like, Okay, but I don't know. But I also want to be a giving, kind person. That's very true. But it's the extent to which you damage yourself by overgiving. Okay. And that's what's happening here. It's like finally the realization of, oh, wow, I'm overgiving. It's not a badge of courage or honor or anything like that. It's kind of a way of controlling the situation. It's a way of protecting myself from people rejecting me. So I'm going to overgive to them. I'm going to people please to them. I'm going to do all that kind of stuff because, and that's the thing that's really holding back the progress, because not being able to say no or not being able to really assess a situation such that you are taking care of yourself. Because if the self-esteem comes from an external place, then that can be taken away, right? And then that feels threatening. So I feel like there's a sense of this. And I do feel like there is, this lesson needs to come out, because I do think that there is a person. I mean, was it Friday? I guess it was Friday that Friday or Thursday or Friday that morning message was a love message. And like normally these messages, it's really meant to be spiritual guidance or along the path. What are we bumping into? What is going on? And sometimes it is about healing the heart, because I think that this people pleasing or this sense of I'm only valuable when I do stuff, when I create value, I feel like I'm safe, or I feel like I'm loved, or that's the checkbox that I have to do in order to be loved. And I feel like there's a sense of, no, love can come from inside you. You don't have to do a damn thing to be loved. It's not transactional, okay? You can be loved just based on your existence. Just because you're here. It has nothing to do with how much, how good you are at buying presents, or how much, what a splendid hors d'oeuvre you bring to the party, or how much you, go out of your way to help other people. Those are all nice things to do. But if they are replacing your own focus on self-love, and you're needing other people to respond to those things, then there's going to be some backlash of resentment. You're going to find that there's resentment there. I mean, all of us, people pleasers, codependents, woo! Hey, big shout out. All right. So I was going to start self-love month in October, but I might start it sooner, because this is showing me that this is really kind of a thing that's going on. And the high priestess is like, listen, well, first of all, if this reading is for you, you know it. But second of all, it's an inside job. It's coming from inside the house. So we're shifting from it being, I'm overgiving, trying to get love, trying to get love, trying to get love. I'm overgiving. And so it's what it's doing. It's draining you. It's keeping you, actually, it's the opposite of what you need to be doing. Much more about an inside job, much more about self-love and releasing yourself from this codependence trap. It's a trap. I like all these swords down here, because it does feel a little bit like you're seeing this Knight of Swords and you're willing to fight it. You're willing to fight the battle in order to gain a sense of sovereignty, a sense of agency over your life, that you can, no matter what, this is, when we talk about like, twin flame, we talk about love relationships, we talk about stuff that goes on outside you. And I read a lot of comments and messages from all you guys. And I hear I'm so devastated because this love isn't coming to me. And it doesn't mean that you wouldn't be sad about it. It doesn't mean that but you wouldn't be devastated, because you're still loving yourself. You're still aware that you have value. And whether or not that person is capable of loving you back or capable of giving back to you, it matters not. And does it mean you won't be sad, or you won't be hurt, or you won't have something to heal, or you won't be working through it? 100%. You don't have to just, no man is an island, right? We have relationships because they are mirrors for us. And also because we do, as a human being, this exchange of love is important to our well-being and all of that. But It cannot be a substitute. If it's a substitute, that's when a person leaves your life, whoa, it's like the most like, oh my God, you find yourself in the pits of despair and everything like that. So in order to balance that, because people do have free will, people come and go, all right? And in order to balance that, there must be self-love. I feel like there's a very positive experience waiting in the wings of somebody who is capable of loving you, somebody who is capable of being loved, but they will reject this codependent way of loving. They will reject it. So for a little while here, we have to see our own need to be loved by an external source. We have to recognize our own lovableness, regardless of who else may love us back or may not love us back, regardless. And so I feel like now I'm going to start the self-love. Self-love October starts, early in September, starts September 12th. Woohoo! And I'll, in the extended, I will be doing some little exercises or little treats for you about self-love. So you'll know, Pathfinders, you'll see it. Okay. So if this is your reading, if this is your story, there's a link below if you want to continue on. With Pathfinders, let's just keep going. Okay. All right. I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.